To be led out of Egypt, but still yearn for your captivity. To look back to your captivity with fondness. He's always leading you out of in Egypt, but you look back instead of looking forward, instead of looking up. You look you look to yourself for answers instead of looking up and trusting that he wastes no movements. Don't look to yourself. Excuse me. Don't look to yourself. Look up. Got some soup. Chicken soup. Yeah. To be led out of Egypt, to be taken from your captivity, from your enslavement. Or yeah, you've been taken from Egypt, from here, but you're not here yet. You're here. So within the wilderness that's leading to the destination, you look back to the other point you were at, the other the other house, the other bed you had, the bed you had. In this wilderness, there is no bed. There's just moving forward. There's just it's just molding. In the wilderness is when you get molded. You don't have a bed, so to speak. You have your bed when you get to that destination, and then maybe another wilderness after that. Excuse me. But you're only looking back because you think you're supposed to be comfortable. You don't think you deserve. Let's actually tackle it. Let's actually look at let's do this. You don't think you deserve discomfort. Let's say this isn't a growth process. Let's say there's no growth. You're just feeling discomfort. To think you deserve anything other than discomfort is absolute pride. It's like, but when I say absolute pride, it doesn't mean like it's 100% pride. It means the pride of prides. It means the pridest pride. It means the vainest glories. Why would you deserve anything? Before we get to what it most likely is, let's simmer down a little bit. Why would you deserve anything other than hell? Why do you deserve anything other than the wilderness? What if your whole life is the wilderness? What if nobody's ever going to like you? What if nobody's ever going to understand you? What if you walk this path alone for the rest of your life? Do you think you deserve anything other than that? You think you deserve a companion? You think you deserve comfort? Do you think you deserve a couch to fall into? Why? And I'm not even I'm just somebody asking questions. Maybe the way I asked those questions did kind of presuppose my answer to it, but let's take away that presupposition. Let's take away anything behind that question. Let's just have the question. Why do you think you deserve anything other than that? Let's just say I'm playing devil's advocate. There was another question. It was another why I had behind that before I said what I just said. Why do you think you deserve comfort? Why do you expect comfort? Why do you think that's something you're like life life owes you comfort? God owes you comfort. You a sinner. You a dirty freaking wicked. Give me a second to gather the adjectives. You don't deserve comfort. You deserve thorns and thistles. And he's gracious enough to only give you those for a season. He's gracious enough to have hardship only be for a season when it could be for your whole life. When, if he is a just God, if it was only justice and no love and grace, if it was only justice, if you were only living by the law. Good luck, Charlie. Yo, good luck. That's tough. But yeah, to look back on Egypt with fondness is foolishness. Foolishness. He's leading you out of where you previously were into something else. None of his movements are wasted. The kingdom is your inheritance. He's leading you to the milk and honey, the land that flows with abundance. You are here, and he's leading you here. But you need to walk. You need to move. You need to go into the wilderness. There's no instant transportation, Goku, Dragon Ball Z, ink, ink. There's no teleportation. You need to venture off into the wilderness to make it to your destination. You need to be molded into the one who can step into that land. Who you were in that previous land, you met all of that criteria to be in that land. You met the height requirement for the roller coaster. That one, you don't meet the height requirement. So he needs to elongate your legs. He needs to mold you. You don't meet that criteria yet. And that's why the season of the wilderness is necessary. That's why the season of molding is necessary. Day follows night, just as night follows day, bro. There's a season for everything. Everything will change. Everything's always changing. You were here, now you're here, then you'll be here. Yeah, that's it. It was the Egypt thought that came to mind, and I was gonna write it down, and I was like, you know what? Let's bust out the camera. Let's get the camera out. But yeah. Don't look back to Egypt with fondness. We already have the example in the book of them doing that. And when we read it, we think of them as lesser. We're like, why are you looking back to your slavery and saying all these things when God led you out of Egypt? You literally have first-hand accounts of him splitting the sea. You were chased by the Egyptians. The sea parted, you were able to run across, and then he collapsed it on the Egyptians so you could survive. You witnessed this, you experienced this amongst all the other miracles, and you still doubt. But we think we're better than them when we read that. We think I wouldn't doubt. Well, that's a whole nother thing, but you would doubt as well. But because he also leads you out of all these other Egypts, and you have that story to look back on, but you still doubt. You still don't put the pieces together. I still don't put the pieces together. This is me trying to summarize that tangent in a quick point so I don't have to tackle it. You can tell by the way that I'm speaking, it's supposed to be like, bow, and then, all right, anyway. I guess we'll end it on some soup, some chicken soup. This is actually really good. But if you made it this far into the video, brothers and sisters, I thank you for watching, and Makardabi, bro.